I'm actually working on putting the Birchwood Casey Tru-Oil on. I just put, pardon me, I just put the third coat. The first two coats I put on light with the paper towel right here. And the last coat I actually put on my finger. It's just barely been put on. Still has some areas that need to be filled, I think. I've got some still wool. I just cut a piece off a roll. It says double aught, and I actually went with 4/0 because I figured a little finer won't hurt. But I wanted to talk about knives a little bit. I went in and rated Mom's knives. These and these are Mom's. These are mine. This one I actually talked Mom out of because I loved it. I've had this for a few years. This knife is actually a really good Wüsthof, German, back when the handles actually used to be wooden. This came with my mom's marriage. This knife, I remember it all my life. It's just a utility serrated tip. She uses it a lot. This is the knife I used on the table and chair legs, and that when I'm at her house I like to use for apples. This is a knife that my uncle made her a couple years ago. The tang isn't the full width of the handle, and well, I like the handle, the shape, the way he's rounded it. I just don't like the fact that it doesn't have a full tang. Mom likes it. Actually, I asked her, because if you can see here, there's like a yellow on the back of the blade here. I actually asked her to find out what he used on it. She called her sister, and she said she believed it was varathane, but she wasn't positive. This one that came with when she got married actually says bread on it, although with that length I don't know how you'd cut bread. These three are actually knives that were my great-grandmother's. This knife, she said, she brought with her to the marriage. You can see how pitted this blade is. I've actually sharpened it. It was really bad on the cutting edge. But this is the oldest knife that Mom got that had been her grandmother's, or my great-grandmother's. This knife was a little bit newer. The end of the handle here, Mom actually burnt that when I was a teenager. Had a gas stove and set it down, and it got singed a little bit on the end. And this knife was actually the newest of my great-grandmother's knives. It's not real clean on the handle, but these knives are, oh geez, Mom remembers them as a kid, so they're at least 60, 70 years old, if not maybe 100 to 120 on this one. I was just showing the different, I wanted to show the difference. This one I actually got, my grandmother gave it to me because it should broken the tip off. I've tried to round the tip a little so it wasn't such a blunt, because they actually do, the Wüsthof actually do have a very sharp point on the blade. This one, this is my apple knife. Those two are mine. This is the apple knife if I'm at my mom's. But this is actually her favorite knife for just about everything. Although she does use this one quite frequently, this one on occasion, and this one also quite frequently. This one gets used the most for cutting sandwiches in half. I just wanted to show the differences. The wood on this one, I think that's all a natural patina. This one, whatever was on it is mostly rubbed off. You can see where the wood is raw there. Again here, the wood, it's just, to me it feels like just natural patina on it. This one here has a little bit of a finish of some type, but on the flat surfaces, it's basically down to raw wood. This one is likewise, it looks like more a natural patina than a finish. I'm going to continue working on the knives, but I didn't want to talk about this. I am going to sharpen the chef's knife. The blade needs it badly. And I'm also going to sharpen this knife after abusing it on the table and chair legs. But that will be a separate issue. I'm going to try to get the finish done on these handles tonight, and then maybe tomorrow I'll do some sharpening. I bought a pretty cool little sharpener, and I actually have some knives of my own that I bought that need honed a bit. I like them a lot, and I'll talk about them when I work on them. I'm going to take these back to Mom and put away mine. I just wanted to show the differences in the wooden handled knives finishes. And we'll take a closer look at the ones I'm doing when they get completed as well. I put on the last coat of the Tru-Oil, a little bit heavy, and it's still a little bit tacky. I tried doing this still wool on it, and it didn't do a good job. I'm going to have to let it dry fully and try again. It'll probably be tomorrow before I even get anywhere near getting ready to put the wax on it. Looking at the color of this, where it's on the metal, this may in fact be the same thing as what my uncle used on the knife. It has a slight yellow tint to this Tru-Oil. But I think I'm going to call it a night. It's definitely taking longer for this to get so it's not tacky, and I may have messed it up and will take more work cleaning up, because the steel wool actually got into the Tru-Oil as I tried to do a light buffing, so it'll take a little more work. Until then, thanks for watching. If you like or you feel like it, you're more than welcome to subscribe. You know where to click to do that. Everybody stay happy and be safe. Have a good night. It was overcast earlier. Now it's actually, the sun's gone down and it's going to get dark. These still feel tacky. I think tonight's is going to be a short video. Tomorrow I'm actually, the early part of the day shot, I'm taking my mom over to get her cataract surgery on the one eye. But I will get back to these tomorrow afternoon at some time. It should be real nice and dry by then. And see if I can do at least another coat or two of the Tru-Oil before moving on to the gunstock wax.